I don't even remember how I learned about crystals, but all I know is when I learned about them, I would literally feel something when I saw pictures of crystals. And I remember I took my daughter, she was a teenager at the time. She was like 16 years old. We had went into the crystal store, and like my whole body just felt different as soon as I entered. I felt like it was a good thing. Like my body felt like a week and like it was like vibrating, and then I was touching crystals and different crystals was like vibrating in my hand. I feeling hot, and oh my goodness, I just thought that meant that is meant for me, because that's what they teach in New Age, that you know what crystal is for you because you will feel it. And I was just so happy, like, oh my God, this store is so powerful. And I started collecting crystals. And it's interesting because when I was a kid, I was always drawn to like gemstones at the jewelry store over diamonds. And I always wanted to be a rock collector. And, oh, Jesus. So I started collecting crystals and stuff like that. At the time, I had anxiety, so I was using the amethyst, and it was my favorite color. I had the rose quartz, fluorite, labradorite, lapis lazuli, carnelian, clear quartz, smoky quartz. It's one that starts with a H, but I can't remember it right now. Howlite. And like some other ones and stuff like that, like black tourmaline. That's all I can remember right now. A moonstone. And, you know, I was using them like they were saying the rose quartz was for love. And I'm like, I mean, the only one that I really feel like helped me was the amethyst. And I believed in chakras at the time too. And so I was putting them on with New Age teachers as the chakra points and meditate. And it did feel like it was helping me. And then one day, in 2021, I had the fluorite crystal on my ankle to remove pain, because I used to use crystals to like alleviate pain. And God told me to take it off and say the name Jesus 3 times. Well, I don't remember if he said say Jesus 3 times or if he told me to say Jesus and then he told me to like say it again, then I said it again, and he told me to say it again, then I said it again. But either way it go, I said Jesus 3 times, and the pain had never returned since then. And I had that pain in my ankle since I was 15 years old. I have a testimony video already on my page. You can click on my page and go to the playlist and go to my testimonies, and you will see that about me being healed from pain that I have for 15 years. And so shortly after that, I sold my crystals because I feel like I outgrew them, because something in the spiritual realm had told me, like, basically I'm more powerful than the crystals, and while people think the crystals upgrading them, I'm upgrading the crystals. So I had sold them. And what's interesting is I had came across another person who left New Age and went to Jesus, and he was saying that God had told him to go to the witchcraft store and touch the tarot decks, because people would encounter Jesus when they received them. And I remember that I had gifted I don't remember what the blue one was, but I remember I gifted a blue crystal bracelet and a amethyst crystal bracelet to one of my loved ones. But this was when I already denounced it, and I had saved them for my loved one since I was in New Age. And so God was like, still give them to him. Like, crystals are mine. They don't belong to the devil. Pray over them and like place, Jesus into them and allowed them to experience Jesus in it, because they were still into New Age and they had like a few crystals and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay. And I will also, when I was using the crystals, like the power was so powerful, I would just tell people to like close their eyes and ask them what they feel when I put the crystals in their hand, and they was all like everybody had felt something. Now, what it's like God was giving me signs. He kept on like showing me what, like, why people don't feel nothing when they buy jewelry or when they go to like regular jewelry stores, like why they don't feel nothing. And then God would like lead me to videos of like the people who actually go get the crystals from underground. And when I was in the crystal store, it was like this really big crystal. It was like a really big rose quartz. It was about like a foot wide and like 3 feet tall, and it was like it had a rope around it, and it was like, stand back because don't get close to the crystal because it's really powerful energy and stuff like that. So I'm thinking like, okay, if these crystal miners are underground with all of these crystals, like tons of pounds of crystals, how are they able to take the energy? But we can't take the energy of a 1 foot by 3 foot rose quartz tower. And it just wasn't making sense to me. And so now that I'm out of New Age, I understand now it's because those crystals in those New Age stores have the false power of demons. It's manipulating the energy to make you believe that it worked, because everything in New Age, it either don't work, it temporarily work, or people feel like it worked, but it introduced it, like they don't know that it's taking them into deeper holes. It's just like when people sell their soul for money. They want the money, but they don't even realize what they get themselves into, all the demonic stuff they end up doing and experiencing in their life, how they end up being controlled and all of that different stuff. So, yeah, this is why God warned us about all of this stuff, because the devil is very manipulative, and most people who are in New Age are hurt. And so when they experience any type of relief, they really, really believe that they're doing good. The devil had to make you believe that what you're doing is good, because most people are not going to inherently choose something bad. And so this is my story about how I left crystals alone for New Age ways. I'm probably not going to collect rocks and crystals in the future, but I will wear them in my jewelry, and that is biblical, and I'm absolutely certain that I'm not going to have those unholy effects that I had before, because like I said, crystals belong to God. They, oh Jesus, they do not belong to the devil. God has kept telling me that God is taking his stuff back. Like, the devil keep on claiming all this stuff, and then in return it make people want to stay away from all of these things completely, when God is the creator of these things. It's just like angel numbers and numerology. God speaks to people through numbers as well, and God often leads people to the Bible. Or like in my example, I would always see like people birthday and phone number before I met them and stuff like that. So it's like, the problem with angel numbers is you're assigning that over your life, when no one thing has the exact same meaning. Everything has a different meaning. Just like one Bible verse means something different for every person. And even every time somebody read that Bible verse, it affects them in different ways. So to say that a certain number means this every time you see it is just not true. And so everything it's basically studying people's growth and leading them to give credit to things and not God, or people and not God. So I thank you for listening. If you have crystals, pray to God about it. Pray to God about it, because it's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. Like the spiritual realm, y'all can't even imagine the depths of the manipulation that the devil go through. And when you have God, the devil seems very stupid. But when you don't have a certain type of relationship with God, the devil can trick you real good simply because you don't have a certain type of understanding. And the Bible says, my people will perish for lack of knowledge. But it's not the knowledge that Genesis 3 is talking about, not the serpent knowledge. Everybody is on a quest for the truth, and they really feel like they found their answer when they get to New Age, and it's not the truth, it's deception. And I'm grateful because everyone listening to this that is in any type of practice that's New Age, anything that's deceptive, God is obviously changing your life. God is not going to have you listen to this and allow you to stay into deception. So I'm grateful for everything that God is doing in your life, and I am here to assist you. If you hear the noise in the background, it's the blinds moving because the window open. Thank you for listening. I'm a spiritual advisor, and my information is in the description area to learn more about what I do, and my email is there. I address all areas of life, and my sessions start at $45. I thank you for listening. I love you, and most importantly, God does too. I just want to add that whatever you need healing from, God will do it. You don't need crystals. Whatever love you need to feel, God will teach you it. Master 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8 to teach you about love. And I also have love Bible verses on my YouTube channel. Go to my playlist and go to Biblical Uplifting. Whatever you feel like you need crystals for to protect you, Jesus is the ultimate protector. That's his name. Like literally. God has an army of angels to fight for you. And you're going to learn the real spiritual warfare so that you can come against all these false mechanisms. Because crystals are not more powerful than God and his angels, okay? And they're not more powerful than you. It's a trick of the enemy.